how can we find real wealth in our lives? And to begin with, there's definitely various definitions and interpretations of what is wealth. For example, some people think if you're rich, you're wealthy. And if you're looking at just financial standpoint, for example, dentists, most people would consider dentists to be rich. As dentists as a whole, we're in the top 5 to 10% of all earning professions in the US at least, and probably similar globally. So for most people, they would consider most dentists are rich. If you look at it from a financial standpoint, if their earnings is good earnings, but from a financial standpoint, I typically look at wealth as how long could you live without making more money? Or if you couldn't work, how long could you survive? And that's a different number because there's a lot of dentists that make good money. And yet if their practice income were to turn off for whatever reason, they broke both their hands, they lost their eyesight, they had some sort of a health or family situation where they could no longer work. If they didn't have good disability insurance, which I would recommend, that's another thing that dentists have, good disability, good life insurance for a situation where that possibly could happen. But if they didn't, how long could they survive without essentially going broke and being on government assistance? For many dentists, it's not that long. It could be a couple weeks, a couple months. And when you think about that, it's kind of scary that really many are making really good income, but they're living paycheck to paycheck month after month. And that's, to me at least, my definition of wealth. That's not wealthy. For me, wealth is truly where working becomes optional, not mandatory, that I could choose to work because I enjoy it, but I could also have enough passive income from other sources besides my practice that's generating money that would cover all my living expenses. Because if you can have passive income coming in, whether you work or not, that would cover all your living expenses, then essentially you're financially free. And there's different levels to that. You could be financially free where like I can at least pay rent or a mortgage payment, or I say I own my house free and clear. I can pay my food, my insurance, my medical bills, whatever the basics that I would need to survive. I could pay that without working. Once you reach that, you're essentially financially free. And that number could vary based on what your lifestyle is. If you were pretty frugal, it wouldn't take much. In fact, I think for a lot of people, it's a lot less than they might think that they can actually reach that financial freedom. And with that, there's different levels as well. You can say, okay, how much would I need to survive to get by and I'd be okay? How much would I need to make in passive income where I really live at my same standard that I'm living now, or at least similar to it, where I can have extra income to go out to dinner, to go on vacations, to do different things I want? Not necessarily where you're living high on the hog, but you can still have a good lifestyle where you're doing what you want. And then even a level above that is where you do whatever you want. And that's where people get into the private jets and all kinds of crazy income, which very few people really ever reach that. Not that that's even the goal, because for me, that's not even the goal. I don't have a desire to have my own plane, and I don't have a desire to have a fancy yacht. It's just not something that I need. I can still have a very awesome, fulfilled life without those things. But I do like the fact that I can have income coming in month after month, year after year, whether or not I'm working. And if something were to happen to me where I couldn't work, my family would still be taken care of. And that does provide a lot of peace of mind as a dad, as a provider for my own family. And I think it's something that all dentists should really strive for, and sooner the better, because even if they don't need to use that, it's that peace of mind knowing that they could. And for me, that is a big difference, where now I actually enjoy working. Now that I don't have to work, at least my basic income needs for my family would be met. I actually enjoy working more. It's actually more fun because there's less stress. I can just focus on serving the patients. I can focus on being with my team, growing the practice, but it's a different mindset. And that's something I would highly recommend for everybody, really, whether you're a dentist or not. There's also different types of wealth besides just financial. There's a really good book by Sahil Bloom, talks about the 5 types of wealth. And with that, he mentions, there's time wealth, there's social wealth, there's mental wealth, there's physical wealth, there's financial wealth. There's all these different types of wealth. And that's something that we also want to become clear at, of how can I really have it all, essentially? How can I have a life where I have good income and good assets that are producing passive income, but also my health is good. I have abundance in my health and my energy, my vitality. My mental health is good, that I have peace of mind. I can sleep well. I don't have anxiety or depression that's just eating at me. I can have social wealth where I have good, solid relationships with family members and friends that are meaningful, that I feel engaged with, that I enjoy life. And time is such a huge factor with wealth, that I can do things because I want to, not because I have to. And that is a major source of wealth, when you can control your time to be able to work and produce and serve when you choose, but also when you need a break, when you want to go on vacation, when you want time for working out, time for sleep, time for other things, that you have that time freedom that you can choose to have. And becoming clear on what that wealth looks like to you, because that's something that no one can answer for you. Everybody's going to have a different flavor of what that wealth is going to look like and what their ideal lifestyle is going to look like. But the sooner you can get clear on what you're looking for, the faster you can get there, because a lot of times we go through life with kind of a general idea of where we want to go, but we really don't have a real roadmap of how we're going to get there. The sooner we can get there, the better it's going to be, and the more fun it's going to be, really, because I love having fun. I love going on vacation. I love just going for a good walk with the kids and playing outside. I mean, all those things are fun things to me that are wealth in my life, and I want to be able to do those for as long as I can with the people I love. And so, hope this helps. Just something to kind of think about, and gaining clarity on what is wealth in your life and how do you reach it. And that's going to also vary at different times as far as with your balance, because I don't really believe in having a balanced life, because there's going to be different phases of our life where we may need to be more focused on our finances initially, or maybe more focused on our health, or more focused on our relationships. There's going to be different times of our lives and different seasons where we really need to focus on something more than other things. And that's where I think we're more balancing versus being balanced, because that balancing act is going to vary day to day and year to year. And when we can get at least intentional of where we're going, it's going to make it easier to get there. So hope that helps. Find your wealth and have a great day. Take care.